everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here. Of course, I hope everyone has an amazing day so far. And if you're new here, of course, welcome. I hope you are enjoying what you see. And if you do and you're not subscribed to the channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new device. And today it's the day because we're starting off or kicking off Christmas in July. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I really enjoy it halfway the year, Christmas in July, because I love Christmas. Of course, we also do here on this channel other seasonal decor, but also a lot of Christmas. What we're going to use, we're going to use the smaller tumbling towel blocks. I always have the measurement from the smaller blocks and the bigger blocks down below in the description box so you can compare it with your blocks. I have here my container with everything inside I need for DIY, but choose your own container and make everything fitting for your own personal need. Of course, the most important is of course the wood glue. I have here my containers with some paint, and of course I will change it up a little because we are going to go to a little bit to the Christmas colors. I have here also an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. These are the main things we need for this DIY, and of course this DIY especially also you can change up if you really don't like Christmas. Totally fine. You can change it up in another color and you can even use it all year round. So what we're going to do, you see this in a moment. So you see already the first step is on the table and we are going to make some trees, which you can change up for everyday decor, but you also can make some Christmas trees out of it. So we will see how this will turn out. We are going to make two sizes, a bigger and a smaller one, but you can size up more and more if you want to have an whole forest. So we are going to have 7 blocks of 2, so 7 sets of 2, and we do some glue on the top side and you just place them together this way, over here, and this way, and this one. Let me know in the comments if you like Christmas or if you don't like Christmas, or maybe not Christmas so early. It's also of course a possibility. Maybe you like Christmas but not in this time of year, because it is really still summer and I always think about the colder days, but that's not everyone who likes that. So I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to get my wet towel. Of course, I'm going to wipe away the top, place it up, turn it on the back side and clean up also this side. Turn it over, do the back side and of course the sides. Turn it over and do this side. And of course, I don't do all the pieces together with you this way, but of course only this part. And again, we're going to turn it. And the last, and of course this one, make sure that you do also the sides. And now we're going to let them dry in for at least a couple of minutes. So I made 7 of these 2 pieces, but I'm going to make 1 extra to be sure. If it's not needed, I can use it for the next size, but I think I'm going to go for that it has a little bit more space. Maybe I do 2 extra. So you need 9 pieces of 2. So 9 pieces of 2. And like I tell you, if I don't use it for this tree, I can use it for the other size, but I want to be sure that I have enough pieces. So I'm going to clean off of course this side, and now we're going to let this rest also a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, while my 9 pieces of 2 are drying, so I have here now 5 loose blocks. So 5 loose blocks. Just place them together. If you have a carpenter square, you just place them down. I have my pencil and of course I have my ruler. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my one of the blocks, of course I do in half, and it's not so difficult because he is 5 centimeters, and I just do it in half on this side. And of course in inches, my blocks, this is 2 inches in 2 inches is this block. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do over here the same this way, and I'm going to do it in half. So this way, place them over here, do 5 blocks in between, make sure that you have a straight line, and then get your ruler and place it on top this way, and then you're going to easy make a simple line over here. And now we have our blocks in half, and we need 5 of them because I always make some extra and do it in a little bag of IKEA and just save them for a later DIY. So you just have a simple this way in half. I'm going to go to my garage and I'm going to cut them in half. And of course you have maybe a tool you can cut it, but also with a hand saw it's very easy to cut shorter. So now I have a couple of my half blocks. For this tree I need 1. So I'm going to do the other one in my little IKEA bag and I'm going to use them later. So I have a half block, I have a loose block, and now we are going to get our 9 pieces of 2. And what we're going to do, we're going to start under here. You can use, of course, your mat as a measurement. So just place it over here and you just go a little bit higher every time. But make sure that the points are still directing of connecting each other. And try to leave the spaces in between a little the same. Over here. And if everything is going right, you go sideways. And you go this way. And you go, oh, you see already, this one wants to connect with this one. And maybe I need to have the spaces a little bit wider. I have to see. We're just going to try it. And just see how we are connecting. Then we get our half block. And what you also can do is maybe use another half block this way. And you just get your loose block and you glue this one together. Maybe I'm going to do that. I'll show you in a moment. That's why we make our DIY at the spot, on the spot you call it. So this way you're going to wipe away the glue, do the back side over here. So you have now a block from 1.5. Just do it this way. You place it here. You get another loose block. So you place it. And now the last one will be straight up like this. So this needs to be straight, this one needs to be straight, and the last. And in between you can choose for yourself. So now we have everything laying nicely. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue my blocks on top of here, but I'm going to make sure that the blocks are still connecting with each other, or else it will be falling apart. So I have to look if I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do it this way, that means that the other one cannot connect with each other. So that's not what we want. So we need the spaces a little wider. So we're just going to go up a little this way, over here. So there you are again. You just fell out of me. I was a little bit too hard with the table and then there you were going. I am happy just the camera is still intact. So we are going to get our loose blocks, and of course I'm going to place one over here, but you can also place one a little more down because you still want to have them connecting with each other. And again, you go a little this way. And then you go a little this way. And of course you're going to do this one over here, but be sure that all the blocks are connecting with each other. If they are not, you have 2 pieces of your tree or 3 pieces. So I'm just going to try to work with it, and I'm going to see what this will bring me. So I'm going to place this one over here. I'm just going to do some glue on this one. And I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to get the other one, and in a moment when I glued my pieces, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do this one and place it over here. I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to make sure that he is connecting also. And now the last, and this will be a tricky one. So I'm going to look for that I have all the pieces, but he is still not coming on the underside out because that's not what you want. So this way he needs to be a little bit straight up. And now I'm going to let it dry in for at least an hour. So you see already I changed it up because it didn't I didn't like the backside, all those blocks moving around. What I did, I just made my shape and I just placed all loose blocks in between, just glue them on top in between all the pieces. And on the ending I did 2 half blocks on top of here because or else it will be too long. So it's very easy. In a moment I showed you a little bit closer when it's dry up. Now I'm going to let it dry in for an hour, and I think it looks now a little bit more high-end than everywhere some blocks. But of course I was already busy with it and I filmed it, but of course if we make the bigger tree, then you see it even better. So, and this is how he's looking like. So you see, I made my shape this way, and then I placed on in between all the pieces just at the corner around the edges of this one. Just place one in between. Do some glue on the block and just place it in between. It's a little bit more work, but it looks much nicer. But of course, what I did forget, because when you turn it, you see already now my tree is pointing this direction. Now I have to be sure that the other tree, the bigger one, points to the other direction. So always think about when you're getting it up, which side you want to have it, which point you want to have the direction, because it's different, of course. Now we're going to make the second tree. So is you ready for the bigger tree? We have sets of 3. So sets of 3. Of course, you can keep it also with sets of 2. Then you just get a little bit of a smaller tree. But I want to have a bigger one and a smaller one. I don't know if it will look nice, but we will see how it will turn out. So I have 14 sets of 3. So 14 rows of 3 blocks. And again, you're just going to row them very easy together this way. You just do them on the top. But maybe later I think that's not really I like. Maybe I should have done 2 pieces, but of course I tell you also every step and what I think of it. Maybe I don't like it, and I always tell you so I make the mistakes and you can always do it better than I do, because you can learn from the mistakes I make, and that's the greatest. Just get the things you like out of the DIY and just do your own twist on it. That's always the nicest thing to do. So again, we're just going to go to this row, and we have the last pieces, and over here. And of course, I have then a smaller size. I have now the medium size, but you also can make it even bigger than this one. So you can go for 4 rows. Then I would not go for 14 pieces, but I would go for 19 pieces, size up with 5. The same like I did with the smaller one. The smaller one is 9 rows, and this one is 14 rows. So again, if you do it bigger, then I would go at least for 19, but then you get a really big tree. So again, we're going to squeeze it together and press it this way. And then I'm going to take my time and just easy clean it up. But like I tell you, just always take your time for it. If you have some patience, it works better than you rush it. Again, over here. And the last one, I'm going to clean up the front side and the back side. And of course, then we're going to let it dry in for at least 15-20 minutes. So now we have our 14 pieces of 3, but we want to that it is going in a point at the ending, so we can't stop with 3. So we're going to make 1 of 2 to let it go down nicely. 1 of 2. We're going to get 1 of this one, and of course a half block, and we just glue this one also together, and then later we use an loose block and a half block again. But now we can easily just go to a point this way. So you have 14 of 3, 1 of 2, 1 of 1.5, and then later you see the rest. So now I have my 14 rows of 3. I have 1 of 2. I have 1 which is 1.5. I have a loose block and I have a half block. So again, we place them over here. What we're going to start with, because we're going to start at the ending, and I place mine this way because I want to, when I have it standing up, he points that direction because it is in opposite direction from my other one. But I have to make sure that I have space enough, so I'm going to place him over here, and I'm not going to do the spaces in between too much. So again, just easy, make the spaces in between not too big, and you can easy redo it. You can just look for where you need to change it a little. And I'm going to go for this way. And but make sure that this side always stays nicely connected. And this one, we start over here. And we go further. And we get the last pieces. And over here. Oh, you see already I'm stuck to my blocks. This way. The last two. And this takes a little of your time, but it's always great because then you can have the shape you like, because you don't want that you have mistakes. Then you have the 2 block. Then you have the 1.5 block. This way you get the loose block. Of course, and now we only need the half block, and this one will be over here, and he will be straight up. And you see already I'm a little bit outside of my mat, but I have to work with it. So now I'm going to get what I want to show you is, of course, now we're going to do the shape that I really want to do, and I'm going to do some glue on the loose block over here. Make sure that the whole block has some glue this way, and I'm just easy placing it in between and just lay it on top. Give it a little bit of pressure and you get another one. Do some glue over here. Make sure that the whole block has some glue, and again you place it very easy in between, so each block is connected nicely together. And so you go further totally around. So I'm doing still again couple of it together with you, but you see already you need to be also especially at the endings of the block. And again you're going to place this one, make sure over here, and now we go around until we are where we want to be. So gently lay it over here, and again make sure that you stay in place, because this one needs to have a straight line also. Over here, and we place this one in between so the blocks are nicely connected. And I have to wait a little bit longer before it dries, because here in the Netherlands it's very hot weather, so the glue is still yeah, you call it smooth, at least it's running a little too fast, so it takes a little bit more time to dry. So always be careful, look at the weather, and if it is drying nicely, again we're going to place this one over here and give it some pressure. And so I'm going to go further. So now our 2 trees are drying. We have now 3 rows of 3. So very easy, we're going to do them on the tops. Over here, and this one, and just row them together. You do here the same, and over here, and just place them, and this is the last. And of course now we're going to squeeze them together very gently this way, and I'm going to clean them up, and I'm going to let them dry in for at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So now we're going to place one on the side, and we do some glue on the smallest line of the block. We place them together this way and press it down together. Feel with your fingers that you have a nice straight line over here, and then you're going to clean it up, and of course gently place it straight up, do the back side and this side. And now you're going to let this rest also, because this is for the smaller tree and smaller stem of the tree, and this one is for the bigger one, and he has of course a double up because he has a bigger stem on the side. Now we're going to make the box where they will stand on. So you see already on the table we are going further with the box around it. Of course we now have the tree, we have the stem of course of the middle piece of the tree. We call it stam, so it's a little different than you call it. And now we're going to make the box, and I'm going to make for the smaller one, we have 4 rows of 4. We lay them flat on the table, and we just do some glue on the smallest line of the block, and you easy row them very gently together. And number 4 is the closure up. So you do number 2 and number 3, and number 4 is the closure up. Over here, and number 3, and number 4 is the closure up, and the last one. And we're doing very easy, we squeeze it together, always press it this way, and at the ending always give it some pressure to the side this way. And now we're going to clean it up, and very gently you just wipe away the glue on the top and do it fast. Place it straight up. Always when you want to move your pieces which is glued, always do it fast. Don't hesitate, because most of the time that doesn't work, then it most of the time breaks. So always do it fast, place it straight up, and then you're going to place it on the other side. Here the same. Place it straight up, clean it up, and do the back side. Again, the top side, place it straight up. And now we're going to let it dry in at least 10 until 10-15 minutes. And do you want to be sure that it's really flat, just place it over here and just press it down. Do here the same, press it down, and then lay it down again to dry. Here the same. You always are sure that your underside is straight if you don't have a carpenter square. Again, place it this way, and now you're going to let it dry. So in the meantime, while my 4 pieces of 4 are drying, I was looking at my stem, and I think for a tree it is too high. It really is too high. So I'm going to, this one is the 3 sets of 2. I'm going to break very easy one off, because you still can easy redo it after an hour. And I'm going to break one of this one off. And if everything, see, you can easily do it this way. Let them dry, and you can use them for another DIY of later with the blocks. So I place them over here. So I think too high, and this too high is more than enough, because they will be in the box, and then on top of here, or else it will be one high tree, and that's not what I like. But if you like it, totally fine too, but I think I'm going to have it a little lower. So now we have our 4 pieces of 4. We do some glue on this one over here, and we just place it against this one to give it some pressure. Oh, you see already, I must not press too hard, or else it will break, because it's not totally dry, because it's so hot in here. So we're going to do some glue on this side, and we easy place it on the inside. So we did this one on the top side, this one on the inside, and now we do some glue on this one and on the inside of this one, and we're going to turn it. And if everything is correctly, you have on all corners some glue. So we're going to give it a little bit of pressure. We turn it around and press it. Make sure that this goes a little to the outside. If you're happy with the shape, then you're going to let it dry in for at least 15 minutes. So the only thing we need is still a bottom. So we have 2 rows of 6, 2 rows of 6, and we're going to glue the smallest line of the block again and row them together this way and this way. And we do the same on the second row, and number 5. And again, you're going to squeeze them this way, going to squeeze this one over here, and we're going to wipe away the glue on the top side. Do it fast, place it straight up, and the back side. You do here the same, clean it up, do it straight up, and do the back side. And always go back to make sure that you have a nice straight line again, and press it together. And like I told you earlier, if you want to have this straight also, just place it down and this way, and place it down. So we gave it now a half minute, because we want to glue them together, and we will fill in, we love to fill in the open gaps. So that's why we only wait a half minute, so we can easy fill in the open gaps. Just change it, press it together this way, and always go back, feel with your fingers to the sides, and then going to let it dry in for at least 10 minutes. So now you have your bottom. You're going to glue some glue on the inside of your box over here, just this way, over here, and a little bit more, like I told you, on the inside, so the glue is falling inside. Now we're going to turn it over and place it on the in the middle. So, and not press it yet. Always go back, look where you want to have it, And if you are happy with the shape, then you're going to press it down and over here. And then you're going to get your small brush and you're just going to go to the sides and wipe away the glue which is sticking out, because with a towel is a little bit harder to do. So again, this way. So now we have our box. And of course, what we're going to do, we have our stem, and this is for the smaller tree, like I told you. This is also for the smaller one, but this is very vulnerable because it's only a little stock you can use. What we're going to do, I'm going to do some glue on this side, over here, and I'm going to do some glue on this side. Place it straight up. I'm going to get another one, a loose block. I'm going to place this one and this one against each other this way. And I'm going to squeeze it. Oh, you see, of course, we have to stay in the middle. I'm going to squeeze it and I'm going to let this dry in for at least a half hour. So now I have my box. I have, of course, my stem, and I'm going to do some glue on this side, on the middle, and on this block. And now I'm going to place it in between. Of course, be careful, and if everything is correctly, it's fitting nicely inside. And of course, I'm going to look for if I have it in the middle, and then we're going to press it down. Make sure that you have it in the middle this way. So you see, over here, and now we're going to let this dry. And so now we are sure that the stick of the stem is a little bit more heavy than for the tree, because the tree is heavy. So you see already on the table, we just made our smaller box. Now we're going to do the bigger one. So we have 4 rows of 7, 4 rows of 7, because we need to create a little bit of heaviness over here, because or else the tree is really heavy. Yes, I'm here again. There was something falling really hard off my wall. So I was I'm a little shaky because I didn't know what it was, so I had to look for what was falling down. But it was a rolling pin. I had a wooden rolling pin glued with some tape on my border of my kitchen counter, and that was falling down real hard. So, but again, we are there. So we're going to do the last row of our 4 rows of 7. So again, we do it a little faster, and over here, and this one. And now we're going to squeeze it real hard, and at the end give it some pressure at the side. Again, over here, give it some pressure. You do here the same, over here. Make sure that you have a nice straight line, give it some pressure, and here the same. Now I'm going to clean it up, and of course I'm going to do the back side also and let it dry in for only, I think, 15 minutes. So now we have our 4 pieces of 7. What we're going to do, we're doing some glue on the smallest line, the same like we did with the other one. And we're going to place it against here, and we give it a little bit of pressure this way. We're now going to do some glue on this side, and we make sure that we do it on the inside over here, the same. This one on the outside, this one on the inside. And now the last piece, we do some glue on this side, and of course over here, and we're just going to turn it. And if everything is correctly, you have glue on all sides. Give it some pressure over here and over here, and you just turn it a little bit. Give it the shape you want, and then let it dry in for at least 15 minutes. So for the bottom, we are going to do 3 rows of 9. So 3 rows of 9, you just simply place them on the table. You just do some glue on the smallest line of the block, and you make a nice row. And of course, I do mine with a little bit of, like a corner around it, of a border around it. But you don't have to do it. If you think it is a little bit too much blocks, then you just do it a little smaller. But I like, it gives a little bit more like a high-end feeling. So I'm going to do it with a kind of a little border around. So I'm going, and it gives a little bit more texture to your piece. Then there you have it even flat. So again, the last pieces, and we're going to easy squeeze it from the inside to the outside this way. And we do here the same, the inside to the outside, and again press it together. And the same over here, and I'm going to clean it up, And of course, I'm going to turn it around and let it dry in for at least 15 minutes. So now we're going to place this one on the side. We do some glue over here. And we do this one on the side and we do some glue over here. And we're going to place it down. And you see already, this is not working. This one needs to go this way and this way. And now we can easily fill in the open gaps and we're just going to squeeze it and clean it up. And we're going to do the back side the same way. So now I'm going to do some glue on this one. And of course, a little bit more on the inside of the box than the outside. So again, over here and over here. And just go around. Make sure that every block has a little bit of the glue. We carefully place it this way and turn it on top of here. And not press it yet because you want to be sure that you have it in the middle. This one needs to go a little bit to this side. And now you're going to press it down. If you are happy with the shape, of course. So this way. And I'm going to get my brush. I'm going to wipe it. And I'm going to go around the edges and make sure that we wipe away the glue because we don't want the glue is sticking out this way. So, and then we're going to let it dry in for at least 15 minutes. So now we have our box and of course we have our stem, the same like we have with the smaller box. We're going to get 2 loose blocks again. We do some glue on this side and on this side. Over here. And now we're going to place one on this side and one on this side. And then you're going to press it together. And then we're going to let it dry in for at least maybe a couple of minutes. So now we're going to turn this over. We do some glue on this side and in the middle and on this one. And we're going to place it in between over here in the middle and just let it fall down. And then you're going to make sure that you have it really in the middle, press it down and let it dry in for at least a half hour. So you see already I have my 2 feet, the bigger and the smaller one. I have my trees. I'm going to paint this one, I think maybe in the a little bit brown color, I will see. And this one will be in the black because of course you can do it green, you can do it any color you like, but I think I'm going for this time for some black because I like black and brown in my decor, even with the Christmas. So I'm going to do it this color, but you can change it up any way you like. So I was debating to give this, the boxes of course some coloring in brown, but I'm still debating. I think I'm going to leave it this color because I like the black tree and the light wood piece of brown. I like this better than I do it in totally dark brown. So I think I'm going to leave it this way, but you can choose any color you like. What I'm going to do, I have here some leftovers, which is an underside of a tree, but you can use some wooden bead. I have here my box I always buy in the Christmas season with some hangers, and this is from the gingerbread scene. Of course I have the gingerbread itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some 2 gingerbread men. Of course I have already 2 over here, and I'm going to glue them together, but make sure that they are fitting nicely on top of each other because you want that at each side, but because they were getting hanging on the under the tree. So make sure that if you're going to glue them together, make sure that they are fitting nicely. Of course, what I'm going to do first is cut off one of my twines over here. This way, I'm going to get it off, and I'm going to cut off a little of the knot on the top side because I want to do one out of here, and I'm going to do one of my gingerbread inside of here. So I have to look for that I have it here, and I'm going to get my twine through here. At least that's what I hope to do. I hope he's working with me, and he does. So I'm going to make a little knot on the top side. At least it will be a really little knot because he is really a small piece of twine. So I'm going to try to get it through here. And of course, I know I'm taking a little bit too long of your time. I'm going to give this a knot and then you see the rest. So this is what I mean. And now I have my hanger, and I have him on 2 sides. So I did a little bit of hot glue on the inside. And now I can change up my tree for the season. So you can do something, maybe a pumpkin under here. So you can use your tree. Maybe you can do later a bunny under here, some Easter eggs. So you can change it up any way you like. What I'm going to do, I do glue now my bead on top of here, of course, on this side. I do a little bit of glue on this one over here, and I'm just going to place it in the middle this way. And make sure that you have it really in the middle. Press it. And that's the greatest about hot glue. You can easily break it off again, clean up the glue, and then do some other seasonal piece on top of here. So this can hanging easy under your tree. And I'm going to glue this on the tree. So I made a second one. So now I have 2 gingerbread men for hanging under my trees. So I'm going to lay them apart. And now we're going to glue our tree on top of our frame. So now I have here my little box of my smallest tree. What I'm going to do, you can place it of course on this side, but I'm going to let it down a little like this, and I'm going to glue it on top of here. So I'm going to do some glue, of course, on this side, a little on the front side, and on this side, over here, and over here, so it can fall down on the place he needs to fall down. Of course, I can better do it this way. I can see it a little better. Of course, this, and I'm going to make sure that I have it over here, and I'm going to keep it in place for a little moment. Of course, you don't have to wait for it. I will do this one and of course the other one. So now the last thing we need to do, of course, is we are going to glue our little gingerbread man on the underside of our tree. So I do it very simple, just a little bit of hot glue. You can do some sticky gum. You can do anything you like. Of course, I have to look for that I have it on the side. I want to have it over here. And I'm going to press it together this way. And I'm going to let this dry in for a little moment. But you see in a moment a quick impression. And here you see finally a quick impression of my Tumbling tower blocks hanging tree. And of course it was my first try. And I see already what I totally did forget. And that is at the ending a little point. So I show it to you in a moment. You will see I'm ending with a half block. But I should have ended with maybe a kind of a bead or something a little bit which has a little bit of a point. Because a Christmas tree always has an ending of a point. So that's what I am missing. So but after all, for the first try, I'm really happy how it turned out. Of course, give it a try and I hope you give your own twist on it. If you're new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw also. If you're not subscribed to my channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button. Everyone have an amazing day and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.